The timeline exploded without warning. In the early hours, fans scrolling through X noticed Tyla's verified account had reposted a tweet urging Nicki Minaj to retire from music, pairing it with language many felt crossed a line. The post reportedly criticized Nicki's political stance and framed her as mentally unstable, a phrase that instantly set off alarms across Stan Twitter. Within minutes, screenshots spread faster than context, and the narrative took on a life of its own before anyone could catch their breath. As the repost gained traction, reactions split sharply. Some fans believed Tyla had finally said what others were afraid to say, while many more questioned whether the tone matched her public persona at all. Comment sections filled with disbelief, with users pointing out that Tyla had rarely waded into industry feuds, let alone delivered such a blunt dismissal of a veteran artist. The disconnect fueled the first wave of speculation. Fans believed something was off. Then came the second shock. Additional tweets allegedly appeared under Tyla's name, escalating the rhetoric. One message circulating online told Nicki to keep that album, delete social media, and never come back, framing the moment as the end of an era. Another claimed Cardi B was winning every day, while Nicki was showing old records of winning. The language felt unusually aggressive, and longtime followers immediately questioned authenticity. Within the hour, the conversation shifted from outrage to investigation. Fans began comparing timestamps, writing styles, and past interactions. Several noted that Tyla had never publicly aligned herself in the long-running Nicki versus Cardi discourse, making the sudden specificity feel suspicious. Others highlighted how quickly politically charged language had been injected into the narrative, a common pattern, fans believe, when accounts are compromised to stir maximum chaos. Industry watchers piled on with their own takes. Some reported that the repost may have originated from a tweet attacking Nicki's support of Donald Trump and the far right, a topic that reliably ignites debate. The timing raised eyebrows. This all unfolded during a relatively quiet news cycle, when a viral controversy could easily dominate headlines. As one popular commentator wrote, "This feels engineered." Behind the scenes, sources allegedly close to Tyla suggested she was unaware of the activity until fans began tagging her team. According to an Insider Leaks account, attempts were made to secure the profile while the posts were still circulating. That delay only intensified the speculation, with critics arguing silence looked like confirmation, while supporters insisted it was simply damage control happening in real time. Meanwhile, the Barbs mobilized. Nicki Minaj's fans flooded timelines defending her legacy, pushing back hard on the idea that she was done. They reposted chart stats, tour milestones, and recent achievements, accusing blogs of amplifying hate speech under the guise of news. At the same time, Cardi B supporters celebrated the alleged comparison, reading it as validation of momentum, though others cautioned that dragging one woman to uplift another was exactly the problem. As the pressure mounted, the conversation turned to accountability. Was Tyla taking a bold stand, or was her name being used to wage a proxy war between fandoms? Digital security experts chimed in, explaining how reposts can be triggered without full account access, and how high-profile artists are frequent targets for hacks designed to spark controversy. Then, finally, clarity began to emerge. Tyla reportedly confirmed she had been hacked, a statement that reframed the entire incident. For some, it was a relief. For others, it raised new questions about how long the breach lasted and which posts were truly unauthorized. Screenshots continued to circulate even after deletions, freezing the moment in internet amber. With confirmation on the table, the narrative didn't cool, it sharpened. Fans now debated intent versus impact, arguing whether the damage had already been done. And as timelines refreshed and spaces opened to dissect every angle, one question lingered in the air. If a hack could ignite this much chaos in hours, what happens next when the dust settles and everyone starts asking who benefited most from the fire? The confirmation that Tyla had been hacked should have closed the chapter, but instead it cracked the story wide open. Once she acknowledged the breach, fans immediately pivoted from outrage to forensics, replaying the timeline second by second. People began asking which posts were allegedly fake, which were reposts, and whether any of the wording reflected sentiments Tyla may have expressed privately before. The internet, as always, refused to let things end neatly. Almost instantly, new theories took hold. Fans believed the hack was strategically designed to inflame one of the most volatile fault lines in pop culture, Nicki Minaj versus Cardi B. By invoking politics, mental health language, and chart comparisons all at once, the posts hit multiple triggers simultaneously. Commentators pointed out that this wasn't random trolling, it was targeted chaos that guaranteed engagement, division, and headlines. Nicki Minaj's name, once again, dominated the conversation. Supporters argued that even a fake post reinforced how frequently she is positioned as a villain in online narratives. They questioned why attacks on her mental health were allowed to circulate so freely, hacked or not. Some demanded apologies from blogs that rushed to post screenshots without verification, accusing them of prioritizing clicks over responsibility. At the same time, Cardi B supporters found themselves pulled into a narrative they didn't start. While the hacked tweets allegedly praised Cardi's current momentum, many of her supporters pushed back, saying she didn't need another woman torn down to be validated. Others, however, leaned into the comparison, arguing that the industry had already shifted, and that the tweets merely echoed what fans had been saying for years. Behind the scenes, insiders reportedly emphasized how damaging hacks like this can be for emerging artists. An Insider Leaks account claimed Tyla's team was furious, not just about the Nicki fallout, but about the broader perception that she had suddenly taken sides in a war she'd carefully avoided. In an industry built on relationships, even a few hours of confusion can leave scars. The incident also reignited conversations about digital security for celebrities. Fans questioned how verified accounts continue to be compromised so easily, and why platforms are slow to intervene once harmful content goes viral. Some pointed out that the real issue wasn't just the hack, but how quickly audiences were willing to believe Tyla would publicly tell another artist to go away and never come back. As the dust settled, attention turned back to Tyla herself. Her confirmation that she was hacked was firm, but notably brief. No extended explanation, no drawn-out apology tour, just a clear denial. Fans were split on the approach. Some praised her for not feeding the drama, while others felt the silence left too much room for speculation to keep breathing. Nicki Minaj, notably, did not issue an immediate response. That silence spoke volumes to fans on both sides. Some interpreted it as confidence, others as restraint, and a few as strategy. In the absence of a direct clapback, the narrative continued to evolve on its own, fueled by commentary channels, reaction videos, and endless threads dissecting every angle. What lingered most was the uncomfortable reality that, hacked or not, the words had already traveled far. They had been quoted, debated, and emotionally processed by millions. Fans began asking harder questions. Should platforms flag hacked content more aggressively? Should blogs be held accountable for amplifying unverified claims? And why do women in music so often get pitted against each other at the first spark of controversy? As timelines slowly moved on to the next viral moment, this incident remained a cautionary tale. A hacked repost turned into a full-blown culture war in hours, reminding everyone how fragile reputations are in the digital age. And while Tyla worked to reclaim control of her voice, the bigger cliffhanger remained unresolved. If a hack could ignite this much chaos without consent, who's really in control of the narrative when the next account gets compromised?